Point of Retreat by Colleen Hoover. Chapter-wise summary Chapter 12 to 18. Before we move into Chapter 12, let's quickly catch up. In the last part, we saw Lake and Will trying to rebuild after the cracks in their relationship began to show. What started as small doubts slowly turned into emotional distance, misunderstandings, and the weight of Will's past becoming impossible to ignore. By the end of Chapter 11, they were no longer just dealing with love, they were dealing with trust, fear, and everything unspoken between them. And even though they tried to hold on, something inside their relationship had already shifted. Now let's continue from Chapter 12, where things begin to change even further. Chapter 12. After the confrontation, nothing feels the same. The words have been spoken, but instead of clarity, they've left behind echoes. Lake isn't just hurt anymore, she's guarded. She starts questioning not just Will's past but her own place in his future. And Will, he's trying, he really is. But now every attempt feels like it's coming too late. Because once trust cracks, even genuine effort starts to look like damage control. Chapter 13. The house still feels the same. The people are the same. The routines haven't changed. But emotionally, everything feels distant. Lake begins to pull back in ways that even she doesn't fully realize. She stops sharing small thoughts, stops reacting the way she used to, stops being soft, and that scares Will more than anger ever could. Because anger means she still cares loudly. This is quiet. And quiet distance is far more dangerous. Chapter 14. Then comes a moment of vulnerability. Not dramatic, not explosive, but honest. Lake allows herself to feel everything: the fear, the insecurity, the exhaustion of constantly overthinking. And for the first time, she realizes it's not just about Will's past. It's about her fear of losing something she finally let herself believe in. Meanwhile, Will starts to understand the depth of what she's going. But understanding doesn't immediately fix things, because emotions don't heal at the same speed as realizations. Chapter 15. Will decides to stop holding back. No more half answers. No more protection through silence. He begins to open up fully. About his past. About the girl. About everything he thought didn't matter anymore. And here's the twist: nothing he says is as bad as Lake imagined. But that doesn't erase the damage. Because the issue was never just what happened, it was the fact that she had to imagine it in the dark. Still, something shifts. For the first time in a while, truth replaces assumption. Chapter 16. Now comes the fragile part. Rebuilding. It's not romantic. It's not instant. It's awkward, slow, and certain. Lake wants to trust him again, but trust isn't a switch. It's something that has to be felt, not forced. Will becomes more intentional. He communicates more, he reassures more. He stays present in ways he hadn't realized he needed to before, and slowly, and the distance begins to shrink. Chapter 17. A sense of warmth starts returning. Not the naive kind from the beginning, but something deeper, more aware. They start finding each other again. In conversations, in shared moments, in the small, quiet spaces where love actually lives. But this time, there's a difference. They both understand how easily things can fall apart. And that awareness makes every moment feel more intentional. Still, just when things seem like they're settling, life doesn't stay still for long. Chapter 18. Just as they begin to feel steady again, something shifts. Not necessarily a full-blown disaster, but enough to remind them that their story isn't done testing them yet. It could be a situation, a realization, or an emotional trigger, but it lands just deep enough to stir uncertainty again. And this time, it's different. Because now, it's not just about doubt. It's about whether they've truly learned how to handle it. Lake feels it, Will feels it. That subtle tension creeping back in. Like a warning. Like a question waiting to be answered. So, by the end of the book, Lake and Will reach an emotional understanding. They've talked through their doubts and past. And there's no major conflict left unresolved. Their relationship feels calmer and more grounded. Not perfect, but stronger than before. Instead of dramatic action, the chapter focuses on a sense of stability returning after all the tension. There's a subtle reminder that life and relationships will always have challenges, but now they're better equipped to face them together. The ending emphasizes growth and choice. They are consciously choosing each other, with awareness, not just emotion. So here's where we stand. They've faced the past. They've spoken the truth. They've started rebuilding something real. But love like this, it doesn't just get tested once. It gets tested again and again and again. And the real question now isn't, can they fix what was broken? It's, can they survive what's coming next, now that they know how much they have to lose? Because sometimes, the second storm is stronger than the first. Thank you for watching.